I love gay people and black people and Asian people. And this is no particular order.
No, I rank. I love black people more than anybody else.
What's second?
Your mouth kind of reminds me of like a person from Whoville.
That's
because
fine.
you like lip is not there.
Well, I can't help that.
No, you can't. But like, it's just like
body shaming's fine until it's all about the weight, right? Goodness, here come the comments.
You're obviously taking the populist pathway.
What does that mean?
Well, appealing to people's more emotional levels, I would guess. I mean, certainly you tap very strong ideological language quite frequently.
Like what?
Left wing, this and that, right wing. I mean, it's that type of ideological spectrum.
I never really talk about left or right.
Anyways, a lot of people
don't really believe in that.
Okay, a lot of people would say that you're simply taking a page out of the Donald Trump book.
Like which people would say that?
Well, I'm sure a great many Canadians, but
like who?
Which one? Socialism or capitalism?
Just pick one. Answer.
Socialism. All right, that's right. That's one.
Socialism. Socialism or capitalism?
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Socialism or capitalism? Got it.
She did the Matrix on that one.
Socialism or capitalism? We just need to put some numbers on the board.
Yay!
Attaboy.
Why capitalism?
We should work hard. It's the best way to make money in America, you know? And if you go back to other socialist countries like the USSR, my family's from Iran, they say it's more of a socialist country. And they stole all the money from the people, which is disgusting. And capitalism implemented in Iran would make a free Iran.
It's so funny that all the people who seem to support socialism live in Western economies and reap the benefits of capitalism. But anyone who's experienced any form of socialism, they all say bad things about it. And this is the actual definition of socialism, a political and economic theory of social organisation which advocates that the means of production, distribution and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole. Some people try and say China or Vietnam are socialist. No, they're not. They both have privately owned businesses. So that's not socialism, is it? Remember Venezuela under Hugo Chavez? Well, look at his daughter. Maria Gabriela Chavez has a net worth of 4.197 billion in her bank, held in Andorra and the United States. So is that socialism, is it? You know what any socialist in any Western country is going to say if they hear this? They're going to be like, oh, well, that wasn't real socialism. Whenever it goes wrong, which is every single time, that's what they always say. That's not real socialism. Just get over it. It doesn't work.
I'm here to shut down your bull. Why are you a gateway point for alt-right politics?
Dude, I listen to Steven all the time and I'm not right.
No, you're a Nazi. You believe that the right thing to do is shut down people who disagree with you. People who support violence. What? You are justifying your shutting down of conversations. We've had conversations with plenty of people who disagree with me. They don't all act like you. They act more grown up.
Oh yes, the intolerant left coming down. Yes, that's exactly what's happening here, Butch.
If you want to come sit down, you can come sit down, okay?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay? Is that okay?
You can't really sit there and complain if people say you're intolerant when literally 2 seconds after that you prove his point by swearing at him and refusing to have a normal debate. I've never understood that. If you disagree with someone, talk it out, have a debate. But these people, they're so emotional, they can't seem to do that.
How do you dismantle a victim mentality on a person-to-person level? I think the first thing is to stop coddling people. And in reality, people need to stand up and tell people sometimes not every single feeling you have is valid. My first pregnancy, when I was 9 months pregnant, women go through a phase that's known as nesting. And typically what it means is that you clean your whole house. So I didn't do that. My nesting period, I would not allow my husband to move 1 foot away from me. I thought he was going to die. And if he went downstairs and I woke up from a nap and he wasn't there, I cried. My feelings weren't valid. He didn't need to shackle himself to me and pretend that what I was feeling was real. And I cried and I told him I thought he was going to get eaten by wild hogs in DC. I mean, totally insane, because I read an article about an old woman who got eaten by a wild hog in Texas. It's crazy. It's really important to tell people that every feeling they have is not valid, to stand up to that, to say that to them, to show them what their future looks like if they follow this mentality, how they will break down relationships, how nobody will want to deal with them, and then to give them the tools to conquer victimhood with victorhood.
So if somebody tells me that every feeling should be valid, I'm just going to say, you know what, I feel like you're wrong and my feeling is valid, so you can't argue with that. And I'm going to say, I feel like your preferred pronouns is complete insanity, and once again, my feeling is valid, so you can't argue with it.
Really angry. I just learned something
and I'm kind of speechless, and I just want to capture some of what's going on and talk about this. So I've just learned that with my court case here, they filed the charges in my dead name.
How dare you? How dare you?
I'm transgender, and I use she and her pronouns, and I legally changed my name 6 years ago to Danielle Tatiana Moscato. I came out of the closet 10 years ago.
Gay!
And they filed these charges in my dead name, which is an offensive thing to do, to bring up somebody's dead name for any reason. I mean, you just don't do it. It's transphobic. It's unkind to all trans people. There's no reason to do that. That I cannot expect fair treatment in this courtroom as a trans woman.
Anyone else tired of ugly dudes pretending to be women just so they can creep into the girls' dressing rooms and bathrooms?
Stand there now on television and say that you believe what's happening in women's sport, for example, is anything but grotesquely unfair and unequal, then say so, if you genuinely believe it.
I think what's grotesquely unfair and unequal is the violence and hatred that trans people are consistently facing in the media, in person, in public, and online as a result of your fans, Kathleen Stock's
Wasn't my question. Is it fair that trans athletes are now demolishing women born with female biological bodies at women's sport? Is that fair, yes or no?
This is a really boring point, but I'm happy to answer it.
Just give me a simple yes or no.
That's not happening,
You
and
think
trans people
it's not happening?
should be absolutely allowed to.
Okay, it's not happening. You're obviously not reading the papers, you're not watching TV, you are totally oblivious to the reality of what's happening. But
Oh, my bad, didn't realise.
Okay, it's okay, no problem. Ignorance is bliss, right? Good to see you. Thank you very much.
You know how I stopped getting protesters to my events at university? I held them in the morning. That's great. No, King, eh? I'm the Messiah. Yeah, really? Well, as long as you don't want me to get out of bed before noon.
Sums up that group of people, doesn't it? You know, them people who try extremely hard to stop other people from speaking and then complain that the ones trying to speak are the fascists. I bet they all support socialism and communism as well, because we all know Western commies are like the laziest, most unproductive people in all of society.
Can you point me to any single country that has restricted freedom of speech that has done better?
I simply ask you for the source.
Okay.
Can you give me the source
Nazi
on that?
Germany, Soviet Russia, Castro, Che Guevara regimes, current UK, Canada, Maoist China. Need I go on?
Absolutely. You said every country.
Every single country that has limited freedom of speech has resulted in a net loss.
Please give me an actual citation to back up your claim.
You would say that Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Maoist China, Che Guevara, Castro regimes, and I can't go through every single country.
I'm just asking you to give me a scholarly source that says that.
I don't have a scholarly source with me right now saying that Nazi Germany is worse off with speech laws than the United States.
And so what I said
You're just going to have to take my word for it.
And exactly what I said was there are plenty of examples where it doesn't work. You're absolutely right. I don't disagree with that at all.
Can you point me to any example where it has?
Eventually, we can possibly get to the point where it can work. And we need to keep trying. That doesn't mean because it hasn't worked, we don't give up.
One country that has better net results for human freedom and human rights by restricting speech. What's your source? One.
I'm honestly going to say we're not there yet.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, once we find that one example, that'll be great.
New book. This is insane. In My Daddy's Belly teaches children that men can get pregnant and give birth. Yeah, well, that's not true, is it? The author, Logan Brown, who identifies as a man, was featured on the cover of Glamour. Sorry, why are these people getting put on the front of a magazine? Featured on the cover of Glamour with an article about pregnant men. Men can't get pregnant. Men can't give birth. Stop confusing kids.
Oh, hell no!